There's been plenty of moments that I fell in hard times. More often than not, getting faded was my lifeline. I realized that I've always struggled with change, but sometimes you gotta rearrange before you go insane. I've been doing my best to stay true to myself, put my next foot forward and smoking dope for my health. I never give up the music till I'm rolling in wealth. Some days I swear this basement's my own personal hell. Well, I love the sound of the city. Goddamn, I love the sound of the city. Yeah, yeah. I'm wide awake when you're with me. I feel better when you got my back, yeah. Red eyes, I'm sky high. I think this might be the best night that I've ever had, that I've ever spent with you. I confess I'm obsessed with the sex. Heart palpitations every time that she texts. I admit that we ain't always been the best for each other, but what is love without the little test? Girl, you know you're my sneaky link. When I'm with you, my ego shrink. I'm just craving time for us alone. I think about you every time I'm home smoking dope. I love the sound of the city. Goddamn, I love the sound of the city. Yeah, yeah. I'm wide awake when you're with me. I feel better when you got my back, yeah. Red eyes, I'm sky high. I think this might be the best night that I've ever had, that I've ever spent with you. I just wanna feel right again. I just really wanna feel how I felt back then, when it felt real, so real. Yeah. Wide awake at 5 AM, I don't really wanna fight again. I just really wanna feel her skin on my skin, her breath on my neck. I've been drifting, I keep falling off the deep end. I've been slipping, losing grip of myself. I feel different, I keep falling off the world's edge. I'll never sleep no more, I'll never sleep no more. I've been drifting, I keep falling off the deep end. I've been slipping, losing grip of myself. I feel distant, I keep falling off the world's edge. I'll never sleep no more, I'll never sleep no more. I've been dealing with the pressure, all the pressure in my head every day when I wake up feeling dead. I'll never say what I'm thinking in my head. I'm spending every day dwelling over my death, dealing with the pressure, all the pressure in my life, compression in my mind run down my spine. I don't always dare do what I know is right. There's some people in my life, we should probably sever ties, dealing with the pressure. I don't need your fucking lecture, I just need to try and hold my conjecture. Fuck your nice gesture, I know after everything I've been through I'ma be a better man, no less. So for dealing with the pressure.
What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Happy to see you all here. Nice crowd looking like today. What's up, Dorian? What's up, Brandon? Still in Hawaii. I'm guessing you live in Hawaii. From Greens, Germany. Greetings. Lord, I've seen you be here before. Welcome. Welcome. I don't know what's wrong with my mic. Hold on one sec. I'm going to try a couple things. Hello. 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 All right, should be okay. Hopefully that made it a little bit more sensitive. Ganza from the Netherlands. Nice to see you. Hello from Bahrain. I'll answer. Oh, I gotta move my other screen. 1 second. And once I buy, like when I buy a house, I'm gonna have a sick computer setup. For those of you that don't know, it's not that I can't afford one. I'm just not going to buy one in this horrific housing market. Like I could afford a $1 million house in Florida. It'd be a shit shack, right? So for me, it's just be patient. What's up, yes sir? How's it going? The Viking is here. What's up, man? Guessing that's a Viking man in Discord. What the hell is your first name? I can't remember because I named you the Viking man. What's up, SK? Nah, just at a conference, but lost passport, heading back to Australia today. Oh, so you're from Australia. Are you from, northern Australia is where, like, all the tropical weather is, right? Like, the beaches and everything. Are you from northern Australia? Ireland's in the house. Looks like we got people from literally everywhere. Welcome, welcome. Some craziness. I was at the gym, and I came back. I was like, wow, I'm going to go cut my grass. Didn't cut my grass, played League of Legends instead. I need to cut the grass after this live stream. And didn't check the charts. Like usually I have like my computer on or I'll glance at it, whatever, just in case something crazy happens. And it looks like we just pumped and dumped today. Pretty wild. Gonna form some conclusions with it. I'm still leaning macro bullish. I mean, this kind of stuff happens, right? This is crypto. This craziness happens. Doesn't really change the macro point of view. From Iran following you. What's up, man? Iran. Here in the United States, we only hear the negative things of Iran or the negative press from Iran, but I hope everything's going good with you, man. I know it's a beautiful country. I really don't know a lot about it. I actually watched a food review show. It's called the Best Ever Food Review Show, and he was in Iran, and man, it looks pretty wild there. Not like wild in a bad way. Like the food looks spectacular. People are always like literally busting around. It's like New York City, but like in the Middle East. It's pretty crazy. SPX net support. Yeah, we'll get there in a minute. So, couple things just wanted to address. Pretty wild day, of course. Guys, days like these happen in crypto. It's the reason why I've always said this, right? I trade setups. I don't trade every single move. You're never going to make money on every single move. And this is why I trade setups. I actually got in not like an argument, but a discussion with some of the fun people this morning. And, people are like, well, why aren't we taking these moves? Why aren't we doing this? Why aren't we doing that? Well, this is why I'm not doing it, right? I don't have any sort of invalidation. We literally pumped and dumped immediately in the same day, right? So I'll always say, like, stick to your plan. You're not going to make money on every single move. And be patient, and when your system does show a positive, whether that be shorting or longing, I wouldn't say like go big in a risk sense. Like, if you're seeing lots of positive correlation across the board, take a bigger trade. Risk that 2% total portfolio or 3% total portfolio. If you're in my trading school, you know what my risk metric is. But stop taking every single trade. Like I haven't taken a trade in 3 weeks, and I didn't take this trade. Did I believe that we were going to pump off the support? Yes. I believe I said last live stream, or maybe I'm confusing with my trading school, that we're going to see something like this. And we're actually still seeing it. I literally said, and just so you guys know, and to give you a little bit of information here from the Patreon analysis. So a couple days ago, I said this, right? I said, this is what I'm expecting. I'm expecting a move up, quick move down, double bottom, move up, right? I'm not expecting any sort of head and shoulders to play out on the daily because there isn't one. I'm not expecting any sort of bearish movement because it doesn't really make any sense with the dollar literally losing support. And on top of that, there's too much macro bullish confluence. So I'm expecting to move higher. Now, if we do get a short setup, I'll definitely take it, but I'm expecting a long setup. Even price action, looking incredibly bullish. Again, just sharing kind of what we do in the Patreon chat. If you're interested, you can definitely check it out in the description below or in my Twitter bio. I share analysis. When I see the trade setups, I post them, right? I post like, hey, this is where you enter. This is where your stop loss is. Here's the risk, yada, yada, so on and so forth. Is every single call successful? No. Are most of them? Yes. I've had people make $500,000 off my trading calls, and they were trading with 50,000, right? I've had people make crazy amounts of money, crazy. But anyways, we had volume going down, going into support, very, very bullish. We had bullish divergences. All of this is confluence for a move higher, right? Now, it's going to take time for that move to happen. I don't believe this was the move higher as we made a lower high. But getting back to the live stream. Talk about food, etc. at a different time. Dude, this is a let's talk about charts and everything, man. I mean, can't rush it. Much lower than before. I got my TV volume at 28. Is my mic okay? Because it's on my end, it's like it's very solid, right? If it's not, let me know, but I turned up the sensitivity and my mic's going through. I mean, I can try and turn it up a little bit, but it's in the yellow, right? I don't want it completely red. So there's like the green bar, the yellow bar. I'm not a sound guy, right? I'm a finance guy. I'm not a sound guy. But in the sound regulation zone, I'm in the yellow, which I believe that's where I want to be. So let me know if I need to fix it. I'll try and fix it. Mike is fine, cool. All right. Oh, what's up, man? What is up, O? O's been my, for those who don't know, O is my right-hand guy, right-hand man. He makes all the good video content and stuff. Probably the next bull run. You know, when more money is introduced, when I have more money to either hire people or make content, I'd like to do that. So O is probably going to be more involved. But for those who don't know, O is my boy. Mic is fine, good sound, but volume got almost on max. I mean, I just changed the. Here, let me try something. How's this? Better? Maybe not. Maybe. Let's see. Let's see if this works. A little bit better. No. All right, I'm not gonna mess with it. Oh wait, let's try this. How's this? Better? Better or worse? All right. I think that's. Oh, now it's really loud. Okay, I think we're gonna leave it here. Okay, I'm hearing that I sound fine, and other people say I don't. If I don't sound fine, turn me up. My voice or my sound is good on my end, so I have the sensitivity up. All right, cool. We're just gonna roll with it. Anyways, where was I? So, yeah, back on the page of not taking every single setup and why I don't. When I don't have a setup that's worth trading. For those of you that know, I like patterns. There's no pattern here. We literally just pumped up, like I said, we're probably going to do, and then come back down. We're doing that now. I'm expecting more consolidation, right? Maybe we get something like this. Around May 5th through May 10th is when I expect to take my next big long. How do I know that? Bitcoin dominance, and we're going to go through everything in order again, don't you worry. But Bitcoin dominance looks like a head and shoulders. Is it going to be one? I don't know. That's the question. It was looking like one, and now it's looking pretty ugly. So anyways, going to start with the S&P 500 for those that asked. Still in neutral territory. Nothing crazy happening. For you macro people, we're just trading in a range. For you micro people, we're sitting at support, right? We talked about this inverted head and shoulders on the 4-hour. There's somewhat of an inverted head and shoulders on the 4-hour. I don't know. I don't trade the S&P 500. I don't know it religiously, so I'm not going to make too many comments. But to me, it looks like somewhat of an inverted head and shoulders. Move up. We break out, retest, continue higher, right? We have not hit 4,200 resistance, so we really don't know. We don't really know yet, right? We need to get up to this 4,200. But if we dance around here, we're going to soar through that, right? To me, this looks like consolidation to continue higher. It gets rid of our bearish divergences and creates bullish divergences. I mean, look at this. You have huge bullish divergences now in that same support. So we'll see. Moving on to DXY. So this is important. What I've been saying for the last several weeks. I'm probably the only person that's been saying this on your timeline, that this is not a double bottom. Guys, double bottoms do not respond like this. Double bottoms don't look like this, right? Okay, you had me maybe on this candle, right? Where we closed, it was like, okay, maybe not. And then we went lower, right? We actually came up and then shot down, closed back above. Way better, too loud, but if it was like that before, now I'm turning it down. Yeah, and I don't know what to say. Anyways, DXY. So, a couple things on double bottoms, guys. Just a little 101 on what double bottoms are. Double bottoms are always explosive. I gave numerous examples to the trading students yesterday. When you have that right side bottom, one, it never goes below the left side bottom. It always respects that support area. Two, they're explosive on the way up. They move up. They don't dibble-daddle around here, and you're wondering if it is or isn't. It either is or it isn't, right? There's no gray area on double bottoms. I've never seen any gray area. On top of that, here's an example of a double top that people thought was a double top, and we ended up wicking above, coming back, and people were like, oh, see, it's going to go back down. But here's the thing. One, you have a close over the other closes, right? That's your first signal that this is no longer a double top. Two, we dibble-daddle around. We came back down, kind of consolidated. This is consolidation for higher, right? We continue higher, we retest, we continue much higher. That's what I think is happening here. We're kind of dibble-daddling around, whatever the word you want to say, and we're going to continue lower. I've said it multiple times. Recession came and went. We're going to see in a market driven by what's the word? Sideline capital, investor capital rather than economic gain, right? You're going to see the market do an upward move, whether it be fast, I think it'll be relatively fast, and then we'll probably see some type of economic depression. That depression meaning, inflation, you have interest rates, you'll have, I mean, it really depends though, because if you have a ton of people that make money, again, like in COVID, then we'll just keep repeating this weird cycle. Regardless, you guys have to remember that a lot of these, if you're someone that thinks that, I'll interrupt myself. If you're someone that thinks that you think that we have not been through recession, right? I hate to break this to you, but I don't want to ever see a financial, excuse me. Okay. I don't ever want to see a financial statement, like a statement about financials from you, because everyone and their mother in the fund space knows that we've been through recession. Everybody. The government changed the definition so that they could fuck with you, so that they could get more votes or, not put President Biden in a negative spotlight. Guys, the media and the government controlled that whole narrative. We went through recession. Risk assets dropped by 90%. The S&P 500 hit its average drop during recession, which is 29%. It dropped like 28%, right? Now we're seeing the DXY lose support. I mean, there's so much confluence here. It's crazy. DXY looks like a triple bottom. Triple bottoms aren't real patterns. That's not an actual thing. Triple bottoms are not real. That's like saying Santa Claus is real. It's not real. It's a myth, right? But yeah, double bottoms. They don't look like this. They don't dibble-daddle around. They don't coast around and close below support. I mean, guys, we have a resistance that was flipped into support and is now below, closing below, multiple weeks below. We also have a perfect retest last week of our diagonal, stemming from back in May. Now, I don't like diagonals that much, but again, another small area of confluence. It's pretty crazy. You have these quote-unquote macro analysts that have never been in the finance space, and they're making claims on things they have no idea they're talking about. Pretty crazy. I mean, yeah, the DXY looks, look at the daily. The daily looks like it's barely holding on by a thread. We're consolidating for lower. Say Santa is real, my kid is listening. Santa is real. Little Johnny, Santa is real. Moving on, total. weird looking chart, right? We have a very, very large support or resistance area in here. Like I said, at least like I said on Monday, tough to determine where this area is, because if we look from left to right, we're technically in support now. But if we look from right to left, we're in support. But if we look from left to right, it looks like we're rejecting resistance. This is tough, right? Very, very tough, because Bitcoin's technically holding support, which is good, but alt's nuked again. So that's why the total chart looks a little iffy. Agreed. It's well documented, and all the information indicates that we've had a short recession. Who says we didn't? Oh, you missed last Friday. There were a lot of self-entitled people that considered themselves financial analysts that have never worked a day in corporate finance or on a trading floor or with a hedge fund. And they all claim that, and a lot of them, I looked at because I see a lot, like I noticed a lot of your guys' comments, like I noticed your guys' names. There's a guy that makes music, and now he's a self-proclaimed financial analyst. So I was going to hire him to do the live stream instead of myself. His 20 years of music, in his 0 years of finance, I'd rather him come on the live stream and discuss financials with you guys. What's up, Michael? How's it going? Did he just say triple bottom? Now you making stuff up. Dorian, you know better. You know better than anyone here. For those of you that are new to the live stream, I live stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, just so you know. Maybe sometimes before, maybe sometimes after. Generally, for sure, Monday and Wednesday, Fridays are iffy, especially in the summer because I go fishing with my dad every Friday. So, moving on to Bitcoin. So, Bitcoin, what's going on in the Bitcoin space, in the Bitcoin world? So, for those of you that are new and have no idea, for Confluent's sake, what it means to be in a true bull market. So if we look at Bitcoin's 200 weekly moving average, Bitcoin has technically been in a bull market its entire life, right? We actually deviated below for quite a long time, for about a year. Let's see. What is this, June 2022 to about March? About 9 months-ish below the 200. Now we're above. And we're not only above, but we've already broken out, retested it, and staying above. Now, if we come back below, yes, we're technically in a macro bearish state, but we're breaking out, retesting, and just to pull this, breaking out, and maybe we come down a little bit more to 26.6. Maybe we do, right? I mean, that's going to always happen. But for now, we're back above it, and that is your first sign of bullishness. Going into the daily or even weekly, and again, I like to use Binance because the volume is much more accurate. For me, we really got to break 32K, right? I've kind of underestimated or maybe gotten this resistance area slightly wrong on the pivot point. It's probably 32K, right? Probably this. We've rejected it. We need to get above 32,000. Being above 32,000, huge. I mean, absolutely enormous. I mean, we can see that we kind of danced around here, so... dancing around here. So I'd say above 32, you're looking at a very, very solid macro bullish state. If anyone doubts simple Google 2020 recession, it's common knowledge. I don't know what you're talking about. No. I was saying there was a guy that his job, like his normal job, is making music, but he was coming in here lecturing. Not only me, but all of you on that we have not been through recession yet, and money isn't moving, and the economy is going to crash, and all of this stuff. And he's never worked in finance. He's hardly been in the trading space. So I was just kind of using him as an example because that's most of the people that I see in my replies. It's quite amazing to see people make claims on things that they have no idea what they're talking about. I mean, if it was me, I'd rather learn and maybe get experience before I make these kind of bold claims and tell people about recession. Because if you're wrong, especially in this standpoint, you're going to look like a complete fool, right? You're going to look like someone that screwed people over. I mean, guys, the biggest thing for me is your biggest moon boys were bearish throughout all of this. They became macro bearish, and that was the bottom, right? I mean, they were macro bullish the entire way down, macro bullish at all of the tops, and then they became bearish at the bottom. Funds became bearish. Everything became bearish. That's your bottom call. That's your capitulation call. So I think that Bitcoin will be in a perpetual bull market. You're technically not in a bull market until you break all-time highs. So no, I don't think Bitcoin's in a bull market. I think it's in a very bullish position, but I do not believe we're in a bull market until Bitcoin's breaking all-time highs, which we are almost $40,000 from, right? We are $41,224 from. So this idea that, again, I'm still saying we are in a bear market. I'm saying there are good odds that we are going to be or hold this low. So this is what I'm saying, right? This is exactly what I'm saying. I'm not saying that we're going to do this. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we are going to hold some type of area in here for the next year or so, and then we will break out and go into a bull market, right? That's what happens with any asset, right? We don't just do this. That's the thing, is like most of CT thinks that you're either calling for this or for this, right? I'm not. I'm calling for, we have our low, right? 15K is our bottom, and I'm saying that probably 40K, 42, maybe even 48 is our ceiling, and we will bounce around in between before going up. The same exact thing happened from 2018 to 2020. You had a bottom, right? You had a 6K flat line average, and 10.5 was our ceiling. And we bounced in between this area for 2 years. You could have DCA'd in here, averaged 6K, and guess what? You would have made a 10X. Easy. Easiest 10X you could have ever made. I did it. I don't know why other people didn't take advantage of it, but they wanted to buy the top at 50,000 rather than buy at 6,000. Pretty amazing stuff. So Trader XO doesn't have a clue. I don't know who Trader XO is. Guys, half the people you guys talk about, I don't know who those people are. I don't know what their experience is. I don't follow them. I don't know what you're talking, like, I don't know. I can't make a claim on them. I'm talking about most of the people I see, especially showing up and not having any clue or having worked any corporate finance. Guys, being a trader and knowing money flow are completely different, right? You could be a great trader, but have no experience in investment finance, right? Another recession is likely, though. Why? Give me reasons. I think our real test will be, here we go. Here we have another self-proclaimed financial analyst. What is the reason for another recession? Oh, now you're saying the bottom is likely in. Even if we get another late recession, we'll likely hold. Okay, sorry, I didn't see that message. But even still, why would we get 2 recessions in a row? That doesn't even make any sense, right? You've got to. You're really stretching some knowledge here. Anyways, moving into the 4-hour. So 4-hour, again, lots of chop today. I'll say that. Lots of chop. Up, straight down. One thing I do like is it was not a lot of volume on the sell-off. So we are bouncing. I would like to see this not just moonshot through. I guess that's always a possibility. I mean, obviously this bounces people thought that shorting was the play, and now we're getting like a very small short squeeze. I'd like to see this kind of do something like that. Get a nice triangle here. Get a nice double bottom on support. Take a nice long. I honestly don't believe nuclear war is coming. I mean, I know that there's a threat, but everybody knows if nukes are shot, the world's over, right? So if you're sitting here like, oh, I'm worried about my money and my investments if a nuke goes off, that's the least of your worries, right? Your money means nothing. You should have bullets, fishing poles, fishing hooks, probably gasoline, rice, maybe like learn how to hunt and clean animals, learn how to clean fish, because let me tell you, the world is over at that point. If nukes fall from the sky, it's done. You'll be lucky if you survive. So this idea that I should be worried about a nuclear recession or nukes are going to go off and my investments are going to go to zero, but everything's going to return. Fuck no, right? Hell no. If nukes go off, think logically for 1 second. If one nuke goes off, you think that's it? Hell no. If one nuke goes off, the entire world is done. The human race is over. Every world leader knows this. They don't want that to happen. They're trying to use it as leverage against each other. If any of them light one off, it's over. Right? Your Bitcoin investments and your money mean absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. So before I hear oh, well, Putin said he's going to drop nukes. Okay, well, I honestly don't believe you understand why there's a conflict in Russia and Ukraine if you think that Putin is the primary problem here. Because I've done my research, and honest to God, and I know I'm going to offend some people, but I think the U.S. is the problem. Right? We have... And I'm not going to get too far into it, but do your own research. I think the U.S. is the problem, and I think it's a giant money laundering scheme. For most people, just DCA and store it securely and wait for the easiest path is growing a lot of money here. I don't know if people want to complicate it yet. Someone update me on what happened in the last few hours. A lot of people got liquidated. That's what happened over the last few hours. A lot of people got liquidated. Moving on to Bitcoin dominance. So I'd like to see this fall. That would be very, very good for alts. It'd be very, very good. Yeah, just very good for alts. I'd like to see this fall. What happened to ICP? Jesus. This was doing good, and then it just dumped. Yeah, I saw ICP was up decent this today. Bro was up decent. Take log off. Dang. Bro had broken my ginormous range here. Hasn't. Oh well. Still gonna hold it. Link, still doing link stuff, doing nothing. Let's see, Algo. Algo's still worth nothing. I mean, you could own like $100 of this. Probably make some decent money with it. You're wrong about the Ukraine and haven't actually done your research. Sounds like you're just repeating Alex. Okay. Well, I'm not. I don't even watch Alex Jones. No. I think you're just like, where do you get your information from? Is the question. Reasons we'll get a recession in 2023. 1. All yield curves are inverted. 2. Increasing job claims while employment is low. The Fed predicts a recession this year. 4. GDP is low and dropping. Okay. 5. Recessions occur after a Fed hike pause. Housing market crisis. Low stock earnings. Core inflation is sticky and not moving. So, this isn't a debate, but I want you to reread what you told me and actually look into it. It's not a housing market crisis. Low stock earnings depends on the stock, different stocks or different companies. I mean, some companies are going to underperform at certain times of the year. Core inflation is actually moving. PPI came in and is moving down. CPI has been moving down for the last couple months. CPI last year was at like 8.9. It's what, like 6.2? So it is moving down. Yield curves are inverted. Doesn't the yield curve inverting start recession, which started last year? 9, increasing energy costs. Okay, but the increasing energy costs are mainly due to the green energy movement, right? That's not like half the reason why oil is so overpriced here right now is because they're pushing green energy here. If nukes fall, fishing would be the last thing you should do. The water would be totally contaminated. I mean, wouldn't everything be contaminated though? Aren't you just... You take World Economic Forum seriously. The plan is a central bank digital currency and removing ownership of cars, housing, etc. Process has already been implemented, by the way. I don't know what that is. I'm going to be honest with you. I live in like a very small town, and I don't know. I own my truck, so I don't know. Maybe it's going on, but I don't know. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that problem before. It's a yield curve inversion that usually starts a recession, not the inversion. Yeah. Didn't that inversion start last year though? Again, like you guys are all like your reasons and your reasoning. I understand, like they're okay, great, but all of those things already happened, right? Water and lead pipes would be the safest. Yikes. You know who drinks water from lead pipes? Egress does. Everyone should take the World Economic Forum seriously. I mean, I'll look into it for sure. I don't know. I think like in a general standpoint, the world is going mad, and I have my own reasoning, and I'm not going to get too far into it. But we're looking at people that are allowing men to play in women's sports, right? You have an MMA fighter, and I've done combat sports my whole life. There is a literal male, a biological male, fighting in MMA against females and breaking their skulls. If you're a logical human being with any sort of moral compass, do you believe that that is right and people should be doing that? I could care less if someone wants to be transgender or have a gay relationship or do any of that. I really don't care. But one, you're now putting women in danger. You're taking away from femininity. Excuse me, from femininity. I can't say that word. Taking away from females, taking away from female empowerment. And now, I mean, you had a man win Miss Universe, like a biological man won Miss Universe. It's, to me, and as someone who very much respects women and is I don't have any sisters, but I'm always here, always protecting female cousins and female friends, whatever. Always opening doors for them, always being respectful. And now you have, you're kind of like, this movement's kind of degrading them. Like, to me, at least, that's why I care about it. I'm not as vocal about it. I'm trying not to piss anyone off. Like, I don't care what you do with your own life, but you can't change everyone else's life for yours. Like, that's like me. If I wanted to say, oh, I don't want to pay taxes, like, I don't want to pay as much in taxes anymore because I don't believe in Social Security and I don't believe in, social or like welfare, like any of these things, like screw these people, right? Like, what if I said that? Are we going to change the way that everyone else does everything because I think differently? Or what if I said I believe that, fat people should exercise or they should be forced to exercise because we're forced to eat correctly? Like, are we going to do that? Are we going to change because I'm saying that or I think that way or a group of people thinks that way, or especially if it's a very, very small group of people, right? I made $100K this year and I want to spend half of it on a car because I'm bored of my 2015 car. Is that a smart move or nah? I mean, dude, go enjoy your life. I mean, I would say so I just bought a $70,000 truck. Yeah, some drunk guy hit it last night. Some guy clipped my window or my mirror last night, and he was drunk and he's being a pain in the ass, and I have to file a police report after this. I would say, man, if you made $100,000 and, it's okay to reward yourself. I'd say don't buy something you can't afford, but, you shouldn't just, stockpile all your money and not enjoy it. Like, enjoy the thing. Like, enjoy it. Don't go and buy, a Ferrari, like a $100,000 Ferrari, unless you can afford it. But, it's okay to enjoy, things you've worked for. The S&P 500 wasn't even in a bear market. What do you call a 30% loss over a 12-month period? Why do I think the housing market is fine or improving? Because people are still buying houses. The universion hasn't happened yet. What is the universion? All residential buildings in Switzerland have a nuclear shelter built underground. There are enough nuclear shelters for the entire population. You should come and see all of the redneck farms that I'm familiar with. Like, my dad and my grandpa have bunkers under their house, literally. I hate woke, ignorant stuff. I mean, I do and don't. Like I said, I think that people deserve the right to be happy. Like I think if you're actually, like no one deserves to be hated on ever. Like, but here's the thing: is I think some of it is blown out of proportion. Like you look at these Eastern countries, right? Like you look at tribes in Africa, you look at some of these other places, and they don't have transgenders. They don't have, I don't want to say they don't have gay relationships. Maybe they do. I don't know, but I know they're very, very few and far between. And I think here it's kind of blown out of proportion. And maybe it's not. Maybe it's because we are accepting, but I don't believe that, right? And I'm always accepting. If you're gonna, I fucking drank shots the other night with two of the gayest guys I've ever seen. One of them was sorry, not two gays. One was gay and one was transgender. We were just ripping vodka shots and laughing. It was a good time, right? I didn't care. I'm some redneck that goes fishing and shoots carp with bows and arrows, and these guys one of them was a guy and had his fingernails painted, and the other one was in a dress, right? I don't care what you do, like, but I don't want it shoved in my face. I don't want my way of life changed for a very small group of people. Like, I'm always going to be accepting and be very nice, but so on and so forth. Universion, when the inverted curve comes back to the uninverted state. Roman is so arrogant. Okay, thank you. I'm always late recently. Yeah, did you watch from the beginning? You see it? What are you talking about? Michael, scroll. What does any of this have to do with crypto market analysis? I'm not trying to be a dick, but I'm here because of amazing market analysis. I already went over the market analysis. You can leave whenever you want. Like, you guys know that with YouTube live streaming, you can click this magical button that takes you back into the live stream, and it goes over all of the things I already covered. It's an amazing tool. Tons of guys in the Persian Gulf. I have plenty in my building here in Bahrain. Dubai recently had a gay event. I mean, cool. That's all good. Recession starts when the yield curve inversion reverses, not when it starts. So what you're saying is, like, it starts when it reverses, right? So, like, right when it does that, or no, sorry, like that. So I'll draw it on the screen. Right when it does like that, right? Because I know there's like the line, and right when it goes under, that's when recession starts. But if it keeps going, I mean, so that's when it would end, right? And then we'd start like bull market here. Hold on, let me look this up. I know what the yield curve inversion means, right? Like everybody in finance does, but okay, so essentially your recession starts when you break that. Go away. Continue reading. Come on, man. I don't want to pay for that. Okay, so yield curve inversion. For those of you that are you serious? Oh my goodness. This is crazy. Yield curve inversion. Why won't it give me yield curve inversion? So essentially, you have a yield curve, white line, or this line. It represents. Is this it? 10-year. Yeah, 10-year over 2-year. Yeah. So you have your 10-year over your 2-year, and essentially, when you break the line, you're looking at recession. So recession starts. I don't fucking know. I don't care. I'm too tired for this. For God's sake, those yield curve inversions. What? Every single stream without fail, half of it is you talking about yourself and life. Is this TA channel or a talk show? It's a talk show. So go the fuck away. Unsubscribe, leave, because I don't have time for you and I don't care about what you say. Like, this is a live stream that is TA based and for entertainment, and I'm not paid a single fucking dime. So if you don't like it, then go away, because it's not paying me at all. And I'm doing it for the sake of you. And if you have to hear me talk about something external to charts and you can't handle it, then go fuck yourself. Have you sold into your spot? No, I have not. Don't recession begin when the yield curve inversion starts heading back up? I thought it started when it went down. The gray areas are actual recession on the Fred chart. I know. But you're talking about the inversion when the 2-year crosses, or the 10-year crosses the 2-year, right? So, let me see if I can. I have an old yield curve note in here. I gotta find it. Sorry, I just have to search in my notes. Build a curve. It's not it. Okay, so check this out. I'm gonna put this in Discord. 1 second. I'm gonna post this in Discord and okay, let me go into Discord and grab this. So let's do some dissection on the yield curve. So we can see that we dip, and then when we come back up, that kind of marks recession anywhere in this area. This gray area is recession. So if we're talking 2023, we had our yield curve inverted. Obviously, 2020 was COVID, so I don't know if that counts. So are you saying that because now the curve, isn't the curve going back up, or is it still going back down? Right? How much of my funds have been deployed? If I have $100, $20 to $25 have been deployed. Before I go back, can I ask what will happen when the Fed removes the liquidity it's been pumping into the market? It has to refill its co-offers at some point. I don't know about that. I think the next big market move is going to be led by sideline capital. It's not going to be led by economic progression. It'd be a very boring world if we all had the same opinions on life. Exactly. Sessions are marked after the market crashes, though, on some. Yeah, but our market already crashed. Guys, what I'm trying to say is we had a leverage flush out from COVID. You're looking at you're looking at risk and it dropped 90%. You're looking at the S&P and it dropped, especially the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq dropped 40% from its high, right? So, I mean, how can you not say that statistically marks recession? We also had 2 negative quarters of GDP last year, marking recession. S&P 500 marking recession. I think, and again, this is just me speaking out loud, I think we've already had recession. I think we're already seeing that play out. I mean, look at the dollar. The dollar's already reverting. Someone on here said the inversions occur before recession, which is 100% correct. So if we had the inversion already, which I believe we had last year, correct me if I'm wrong, I need to find the picture because I remember talking about it, right? So recent yield inversion. I'll just look it up on my computer. March of 2022, the 2-year crossed over the 10-year, officially inverted for the first time since 2019. As of March 2023, the yield curve remains invested. Shouldn't that say inverted? Based upon 50 years of history, this yield curve signals a risk of recession by 2024. Okay. Let's see. Why is this just a horrible chart? Yield curve. Oh, I just clicked that. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Images. So, okay, we already had our yield curve inversion, right? But here's the thing. In 2006, we had a yield curve inversion. And then we had another one in 7. And then 8, right? And then we started our recession at the end of, or middle of 8, I believe. So there's 2 years before we had that point. Let's look at the S&P 500. And this is just some hypothesis. I've never done a deep dive on the yield curve inversion. So we started in late 2007. Let's see, 2006, when that inversion happened. So that was about the beginning of 6. So let's go back here. The beginning of 6, we were here. So we saw a 30% rise. 30% rise again. 30%. See how much of a fall we had. only 10%. So we had a 30% rise when we first saw the inversion. When we started going back up to the midpoint, when did we start recession? Let's see, October 2007. So right when we exited, right when we exited, started going up to the 0.5 level. Let's see. Why are there no recent curves? I thought the Fed was still pumping in liquidity until late May, early June, probably. You can check Powell's speeches. He always mentioned that they're going to be shrinking the balance sheet. Isn't it merely impossible to have two recessions? Wouldn't it just be one recession? Like you're in a recessionary environment? Where is the 20? Oh, here it is. Why did the picture shrink? Everything else. Okay, so in March of 2022, we had the yield curve inversion. I want to know what it looks like currently. Huh. But look at our 10-year. Our 10-year is not following our 2-year at all. That's interesting. Look at that. There's an inverted relationship here between the 10-year and the 2-year. So what does it look like now? Let's see. I know I misspelled it. Updated daily. Current yield curve. So we're still... Oh, here's 10-year over 2 years. Excuse me. So we're still below it, right? In 2006, we were below it for 2 years. And late 2007, so we could spend another year here. We could see another bull market. We could see a continuation. We're still below, yes, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to see a recession. Guys, I'm with you. We're going to see some kind of financial downturn, right? I just use TradingView and compare the 2-year and the 10-year manually. I always do. Yeah, I should probably do that, but just find them on TradingView. Yeah. I know. Or you can just go to a website. Same thing. You get the same result here. So we're still below. What is this? 2006, right when we got above in 2007. So technically, and again, we could see lower. We could go essentially once we get past the red line. You'll just use this as a very, very basic terminology. As soon as we get above the red line, that's when you're looking for your recession. We're not even close. So we're yet to see the universion and thus probably recession. I don't know. This whole recession talk is making me hungry. So I haven't eaten yet. Need to go eat. So guys, I'm going to leave it there. If you don't like what I have to say or whatever, then don't watch the live stream. That's just what it comes down to. I do this all for free. I'm not paid a dime to give you free analysis and to, provide all of this content to you. So if you don't like it, then don't watch. You have an option to just not watch. With all that said, guys, be patient, use risk management. Good luck trading.